Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how to make the leap into entrepreneurship. So, this is a topic that I absolutely love, and it's something that I empower clients to do every week, I would say. That seems to be my niche. The people that I attract are people who are leaping into entrepreneurship or making big moves in their lives and or scaling that business to the next level. So let's talk all things taking the leap into being your own boss and scaling that for yourself. So when it comes to making the leap into entrepreneurship, first, you kind of have to start at this really uncomfortable place. So, for me personally, this really uncomfortable place was feeling fed up, absolutely exhausted, and burnt out at my corporate job. Feeling like I was stuck in some sort of, rat race, really, stuck in some sort of game or machine, working for someone else, knowing that I was capable of so much more, but not really knowing what to do. And it just sort of felt like I was stuck in quicksand or something. Like I was sinking because I was burning out. My energy was depleting. I just didn't feel alive inside. I didn't feel excited about what I was working on. And there was just no passion there. But it's in that place of feeling fed up and exhausted, wherever we might find ourselves in life, that we actually are charged enough to make a decision. So the first step is finding yourself in that uncomfortable place. And the second is the decision, right? Unfortunately, we can't actually create lasting change until we're absolutely fed up with where we are and we've brought that into full awareness. You guys might be able to recognize that from patterns that you might identify in your life. It takes you getting to this place of fuck this shit, pardon my language, fuck this shit, but I'm done. I'm sorry, I'm so done with feeling this way. I'm so done with history repeating itself and this happening to me that I'm ready for change. It's in those places where I feel the most uncomfortable that is the most perfect place to be because we're charged up for transformation. So, like I said, step number 2 is the decision, deciding that, okay, I'm done with this. I'm very aware that in my corporate job, and I'm using my corporate job as my personal example here, but apply whatever works for you. I'm so done with this. I'm making a decision that I'm going to make a leap. Okay. So, my personal decision when I found myself in that corporate job was just going home and booking a one-way ticket to Rome 3 months out on my credit card, not knowing how I was going to figure it out, but just deciding that I was going to choose to believe in myself. I was going to choose a different life because I wanted a different life and I was going to make it happen. And I was just stepping up to the plate and deciding to play big for myself. So the decision. And while you're listening to this right now, what is the decision that you would like to make when it comes to taking that leap into entrepreneurship or taking that leap into the next level of your online business? The next step, of course, is committing to that decision, right? It's not just making the decision, but it's choosing that desired reality over and over and over again, no matter what the external reality looks like. So I still showed up and went to work for the next 2.5 months or so, right? And I had this secret that I was moving to Rome, but it made work a little bit more enjoyable because I knew I was leaving. I knew that I had this secret that was really lighting me up. And I remember while I was plugging away, creating sort of marketing materials, I was listening to YouTube videos about the law of attraction, manifestation, people working remotely, digital nomad content, stuff like that. And I just chose, right, to surround myself with supportive energy in whatever form that was versus having anything in my space that would diminish my dreams or dim that light that was really starting to burn inside of me, right? So it was continuously committing to that decision, right? I said over and over and over again because it's natural as human beings with emotional bodies that we might find ourselves falling in and out of different states of feeling and being, but it's choosing to shift actively in each moment, again, committing to that decision. Become obsessed with the decision that you've made. Become obsessed with believing in yourself, and it shall be made manifest. It can't not happen. It can't not happen when you are committed to your decision. And the next step, step number 4, is taking aligned action, right? So in my personal example here, committed to making that decision of moving to Rome, surrounded myself with supporting content, right? And I took aligned action towards that. So I started to get excited and passionate naturally about what I was going to do in Rome. There could have been a side of me that was fearful, right? Or resistant or felt a little bit of anxiety. And I'm not going to deny that there was a little bit of that there. But like I said, I continuously shifted in those moments. I continuously chose a new decision. And then I started to get excited about taking aligned action. So I sort of created a map or a blueprint, if you will, of the things that needed to happen naturally before I was to move to Rome, before I was to move to Italy, pack up my suitcase and move. So it was selling my belongings. It was finding out where I was going to live on the other side, what I was going to do on the other side. I chose to become an au pair. And then continuously getting excited about that, right? And as I was selling things, that was exciting. As I was making these plans, it was exciting. As I was applying for my visa, it was exciting. It was really taking on the adventure that is life on planet Earth. And so, yeah, taking aligned action, right? In that decision that you're choosing to make for yourself, in that leap into entrepreneurship or that leap into the next level of your business, right? What are the aligned actions? What are the things that need to happen? If you think about that future version of you, I was thinking about that future version of me in Rome working for herself. Maybe yours is that future version of you who's living and working remotely in Thailand or Bali, or maybe just having your own business from your own house, right? What actually are the steps that need to happen? And it doesn't matter if they're incredibly simple, like if it's like, okay, I need to put in my 2 weeks notice. Write down every course of action and create yourself a timeline, and that will make it feel more real. That will have you notice and bring awareness and bring focus to what needs to happen, and what you focus on expands. So when you focus on those action steps, the action steps are going to expand and they're going to become more clear to you. And the next step, step number 5, which is the last step that I have here in taking the leap. Well, I suppose the final step is like leaping, is hopping on that plane, is quitting your job, is like putting that post up on social media, whatever it might be. But step number 5 is making it fun and enjoyable. Because when it's fun and enjoyable and you continuously frame it in that space and in that energy, you don't burn out. You get more passionate about it. You get more excited, right? And you become the gentle observer of the experience, right? If you start to imagine yourself like a character in a movie where you know how this movie ends, but you don't actually know what the journey is going to look like you know you're going to get there because it's inevitable. It has to be made manifest. And so you just start enjoying it a little bit more. You're like, oh, this is exciting. Oh, I don't actually know what's going to happen next, but I'm waiting and I'm working as a co-creator with Source to make this happen, right? So continuously making it fun and enjoyable. I used to just pack up my bag and go to a coffee shop on the weekend when I lived in Toronto before Rome, and I would just look and research ways to make money online or work on my YouTube channel and just continuously flow energy towards the life that I desired, right? And taking those line actions. And it was fun because I knew where I was going and I didn't quite see the results yet, but I just continuously chose that this was enjoyable for me, that this was fun. And I followed my passions, I followed my curiosities, and it got me to where I am today, which is absolutely the life of my dreams. I just feel so incredibly blessed each day, and I'm continuously creating that next level life for myself. So, if this episode is resonating with you guys, I would love to invite you into my signature program, the Digital Nomad Academy. This program is jam packed. This is a 6-month program with everything that I have learned in the last 6 years of being a digital entrepreneur making over 6 figures. All of the different moves that I've made in my business, what I've come to understand about money and creating more ease and flow with that, creating multiple streams, putting myself out there online, and scaling. So if this interests you, I highly encourage you to click the link down below and check it out. I would love to have you inside. This is the only time that the program is going to be available at this price. It is something that I imagine I plan to launch anyways once a year. But yeah, like I said, once a year, it's a 6-month program. It's fully loaded. It's got everything that you need. And imagine if you entered into this program now, you get a module each week. Who would you become in 6 months if you continuously focused and exposed yourself to supportive content that empowered you to build your online business or take your online business to the next level, right? That allowed you to scale, that allowed you to create passive income, that allowed you to create multiple streams of income, right? And allowed it to be fun and exciting. I invite you into this program. I promise you it's going to be fun, exciting, and expansive. If more fun, more freedom, and more finances inspires you, you are definitely made for this program. So if there's any questions, don't hesitate to reach out on Instagram and I'd be happy to connect with you. But sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpoulsen.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.